new faces to the room. Elijah Mitchell from San Francisco 49ers, who, had some flashes there, and then he got hurt, and they traded for CMC, and the rest is history for Eli Mitchell. Brashard Smith, SMU, wide receiver to running back. And then Elijah Young, new guy, 5'10". This guy's Western Kentucky guy, JD. So great state of Kentucky, baby. So JD, new faces. We obviously talked about what we have right in the room. We have Pacheco, we have Hunt, we have guys who are bell cow types. Now with these guys, I would say Elijah Young's probably more in that realm, kind of thicker, 5'10", about 195. And then you have Elijah Mitchell and Brashard Smith, two burners. Eli's obviously had some injuries, so he may not be as fast as his 40 time would show. But Brashard Smith is a whole lot of speed. And as we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, Louis Riddick calls him Alvin Kamara. I've seen some people call him James Cook a little bit. But we have some speed with these new faces. Now, JD, when you look at the new faces, what first comes to mind when you see some of these guys here and how they can fit in the offense?
I think these are the guys that you regulate the speed stuff too, right? The pitches and the sweep, new set of sweep, some of the outside zone. These guys for that, okay? Open field, throw the ball, let them get a nice little swing route, and then let them cook. Every single one of these guys right here can fly, every single one of them. And so that's what I see the difference on this is here you got the guys, you brought all the man-at-arms, the hammerheads in the front, Marcus, who can kind of do it all. You're 3 down backs. These guys right here are kind of like, specialty guys, right? You're not asking them to come in the block as much. You want them to catch the ball out the backfield, one-on-one with a linebacker, open field, get the ball in their hands, and then let them cook. That's what you're doing. So that's the difference from this group and this group right here that I'm seeing right now. But Elijah Mitchell, we understand what he was. I think Joker ran like a 4.28. I think when he came out,
fast as heck.
Oh my gosh! Now he's not that guy anymore because of the injuries, but I'm sure he's still freaking fast. Okay, Brashard Smith, we already know. Now look, I love Louis Riddick. Love him. I love some of his takes. I actually do. I probably agree with Louis Riddick more than anybody else as far as on TV because he's sensible. He understands. He can play ball. He knows what he's talking about, right? Alvin Kamara, hey, I tell you what, he's got to show that, and I will believe it when I see it. Not saying he don't have that ability because we know he can fly. He's got incredible speed. He can catch footballs because he played receiver. He can do all those things. At SMU, look great. The thing is, in the NFL, it's a little bit different. Can he turn to Alvin Kamara? That still waits to be seen. Okay, I'm waiting to see it. Lewis, I hope you're right. Hope you're right, brother. So we'll just have to see how that is going to play out. Okay. Elijah Young, I see Western Kentucky had a ton of yards down there, all purpose. I think it led the team in all purpose yards. Young, great back. I think he's a dude, man, that he's going to find his way. He's going to find his way. And from what all things that's been said, he's a workhorse. If he's a workhorse, he comes in, he comes play. He's going to put some pressure on some guys. He is. So he could be a guy that you can look to get suited on the practice squad. That's how you look at this. So, yeah, Marcus, we'll just have to see. We're going to see if those young bucks could put out an older guy like a Elijah Mitchell. That's the job they're coming for. Seriously, that's the job they're coming for, Elijah Mitchell. If he's got anything what he had before at Juice, he's going to make it hard on him. He ain't going to make it easy. Believe that.
And we've seen this in the past. A couple of off seasons ago, we signed Ronald Jones. In the same year, we ended up drafting Pacheco. And what happened? Ronald Jones didn't make the roster. He was cut. We've signed him back, and then we cut him again. But Ronald Jones was that veteran we brought. It was he didn't look bad with Tampa. It's like, okay, well, Eli Mitchell didn't look bad in San Francisco. He's had injuries, but that's why with this, last few weeks we've done locks and who's not locks. This was kind of tough. I had returning faces and I had new faces because I don't know who's going to be. Eli Mitchell is not a lock, and especially with the contract that he got. That doesn't indicate a lock contract at all by any means. So that's that's also the interesting thing there. Brashard Smith, like we talked about, right? Well, we hope that he's Alvin Kamara. I don't know if he's going to be Alvin Kamara. That's a Pro Bowl running back. And I posted a video on our channel from our conversation on Wednesday about that, and people were like, "Oh, we want to be excited about this." Yeah, we're excited about Brashard Smith. It's just that it's unfair to label a 7th round running back as Alvin Kamara, and hope they can use him like that.
What happened now? You said people were
saying. I posted a segment from when someone asked us a question last week about the James Cook comparison to Brashard Smith, and we talked about that. And I just put because we kind of talked about. We said pump the brakes on the comparisons because we're comparing him to a Pro Bowl running back, and some people got mad and say, "Oh, we want to be excited about that." We're not saying not to be excited about it. Be excited about the guy without comparing him to a Pro Bowl running back. Hey, man. Two different things there. You can be excited, but not compare him to a Pro Bowler. It's unfair for a 7th round pick.
Yeah, we ain't talking about this Pro Bowl. We're talking about one of the best running backs we've seen in the past 10 years. Sure. I mean, like, seriously, did we like double threat? Like, we talking about a problem out there on the field. Alvin Kamara. We excited if he is that. Heck, sure, we want him to be. Hey, believe me, we want Brashard Smith to be Alvin Kamara or better, and then some.
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes, and we talk about this all the time, and I say this to you all, sometimes it's unfair when we start putting guys, tagging them with these names on it. Because sometimes you start having these expectations, and sometimes we need to temper those. Because it's like, man, he ain't Alvin Kamara. Next thing you know, you want to kick him off the team. Because he's not that. Oh, man, I thought he was, hey, man, look, let me get his feet wet. How about that? Let him get some playing time. So I want to see him strive. I want him to do well. I hope he is everything they are saying he is and will become. We are the first ones. You got to hear first. I'm saying that. I want him to be everything that they are saying. Louis Riddick, yes, I want him to be that. But he got to show it. I got to see it first, man. Missouri, show me state, right? That's what it showed me now.
Exactly.
So, let's see it, man. Let's see it.
Justin Blackwell, we talked about that last week as well. Justin Blackwell saying Smith grew up a running back. He switched late into high school into college. Very different. You only had 1 year of college running back, which is very different from the high school and the youth league days. And now you're going from college 1 year to that learning curve to learning to be an NFL running back. Because JD, guys who are 4-year stars at running backs still have to learn to be an NFL running back. It's a step above what they're learning to be a running back in college.
Some of them suckers ain't making it.
Right?
Hey, man, look, I heard somebody was talking about running backs at Alabama. And some of them just was out the league. Why? Because they didn't make the transition like you thought they were going to make. Okay? There's always ones out there that don't make it. We hoping he does. I want to see it. I want to see the flashiness, him be able to make people miss. He has that ability. We know that. He's fast. He's elusive. And I hope he makes that transition quicker than later. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about pre-draft as one of the running backs we wanted. And, sure, do we know he's going to be Alvin Kamara? No, I hope he is, and more than Alvin Kamara. But what it is, he can present a lot of matchup nightmares to opposing defenses because the guy has receiving ability. You can motion him out. You can do a lot with him with his skill set that the other guys we talked about tonight don't have. He has that in his bag where the other guys don't have that. So if it does work out, amazing. This is one of the steals of the draft if it does work out because what he can do. And like we talked about pre-draft, not many teams have the luxury of being able to take a guy like this. We have the creativity on our offense to be able to bring a guy along like this. And quite frankly, I think it's a great place for him. I think this would be one of the running backs for me that makes the team. Curious to see how JD has it laid out here in a little bit when we look at the who's going to make it and who's not. Our super early projection, our June 2nd projection. But yeah, I think Brashard Smith presents a lot of matchup nightmares and a really fun tool and a Swiss Army knife, as many of you guys are saying in the chat, that he can give us some big time upside on the offense. And Elijah Young, man, 5'9", 199, ran a 4.40. That's pretty stacked and pretty fast, man.
Who's that? You talking about?
Elijah Young.
Yeah.
5'9", 198, 4.40. And 4.4 flat, too.
I went to just the what the NFL was talking about, NFL.com strength and weaknesses, right? On what they were saying about Brashard Smith. Okay. Now, you could take him with a grain of salt. It's always different people's opinions and evaluations. So strengths: fresh legs at only 253 career carries, very good stop and start quickness when probing, above average ability to get to the smoothest path on interior runs. Okay, above average. Processes second level quickly to spin around and sidestep defenders. Former wideout with outstanding hands and ball skills. Able to line up and run a variety of routes from the slot, and showed off kick return and punt return talent during his career at Miami. Okay. Now, weaknesses: below average size to take on a heavier workload. Runs with a little too much hesitation in his approach. Has a tough time outrunning pursuit to the corner. Requires better understanding to read and set up block development. Below average leg drive to break through arm tackles, and doesn't offer up enough effort in pass protection. So there's somewhat of a contradiction in some of these things, right? Oh, he's doing this great, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, he can't do this. Well, we're going to find out. And so, Marcus, I will hold my opinion. I think Brashard Smith is incredible talent. I want to see him in training camp. That's going to be the determining factor to see how you make it, when you get up here to the NFL.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm 100% with you. And yes, a lot of those scouting reports, I remember when we were doing our draft shows and I was prepping for it and stuff, there were so many contradictory statements, especially one scout saying one thing about a guy, the other one saying the opposite. It's like, wait, what are we talking about here? Yeah, the scouting reports for the pre-draft stuff was very interesting. But nonetheless, JD and I are both excited about Brashard Smith's potential. We just don't know if he's Alvin Kamara. But I will say Louis Riddick is tapped in with the Chiefs, and maybe they're planning to use him like an Alvin Kamara. Maybe they have future plans for that for him. So that could be something too. But being utilized as a guy doesn't make you that next Alvin Kamara, and that's very different.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Justin Blackwell said, need to run more RPOs. We need more set plays on the running plays. I don't mind RPOs. I think RPO is okay, but I think we need more set run plays. Okay, so it's determined, like, we know we're going to run either trap or belly, whatever we're going to do, counters, whatever it may be. Okay, if it's just straight, bob, back on back, however it may be. Sometimes you just got to run downhill, inside, outside zone, mid zone. I like those. But Brashard Smith should be a guy that should be able to have, like, I think Samuel might have said, that vision. So,
yeah, Samuel also says you have to have the threat of a running play for the RPO to work, which is
absolutely
spot on.
Right, exactly. That's the point. Yeah. So you can sit there and say, "Oh, you run RPOs." Well, shoot, they ain't falling for it. They like, shoot, they ain't running the ball. Yeah, Demetrius, yeah, that's better when you run the ball. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, don't give them an option, just run it.
Yeah, that plays. Then everything else works from that point. Now you got to establish the run first. Like, you got to establish the run. Do it early. So them boy got muscles on muscles, and if he has the hair on his chest, he'll make a lane in this league. Yes, he will.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.